Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is July the 24th, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. We had a good Thursday. Hopefully, you did as well. Pretty much. We'll start with the day as it was, and then we'll do a rewind, kind of like the weekend version, right? But only it was Wednesday, Thursday. But we woke up today, feeling pretty good. Feeling so good actually that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go in a few minutes late today. I'm gonna have my little morning coffee. I'm gonna vibe for like just a few extra minutes. Just really enjoy myself. Take my time. And it was worth it. It was definitely good. Sometimes as usual, you gotta start with the cherry. Actually, that's a good question. When it comes to like when you get your little ice cream sundae or what have you, do you usually save the cherry for like the very end, or do you usually just pop that right at the beginning? I pop my shit right at the top. I pop my cherry right away. I feel like that's most people. Anyway, um, after our coffee, after our little morning start up, we skedaddle on to work, and work was good. It was another slow day. I wouldn't say it was so slow that I got to like have like heavy downtime and maintenance and like kick it, but just slow enough that I was just more or less hanging out in the dumpster, doing my thing. It was a good day. No one bothered me. Vibes were nice. They were tight. They were chill. So, I even got one of my coworkers. They gave me a little pack of grandma cookies. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. They were like, oh, here's more. You can take more. I'm like, no, 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 no. And it's one of those things where you can always tell when someone's like a parent and they're like your friend because they look at you like you're some like little sad boy who needs food all the time and they want to take care of you. I think that's always so sweet. I always appreciate people with that love language energy. It's always very appreciated. But I took the chocolate chip cookies and I put them in my fanny and I kept them moving because I just didn't want to overeat. And we'll talk about what I ate soon. I know I'm kind of teasing that a little bit. I've been teasing it all week. But after work, we get through work, we head to the gym, and this was a full workout day. We're right back at it. Modified again, so not like the medium I usually do. I lifted a little bit heavier on my weight training, at least for the Smith machine, the free weights, Did it a little bit harder, went a little harder in the paint, but that felt good. Like overall, I'm not feeling any residual pain, so we like that. Clap it up for that. Yay, no pain. So yeah, weight training went well, cardio went well, felt good, felt solid. And, fast forward a little bit, we're here now. We're here, we're yapping it up. So overall, we had a really good Thursday and really happy about it. But let's get to Wednesday night. Wednesday night was so fun. So, post the episode and, hang out for a little bit. And then I drive downtown Cincinnati, and I go to this restaurant called Mitas. It is a tapas, like, I want to say tapas fusion is probably the best way to describe it. Maybe I'm wrong there, but a tapas fusion restaurant. And how I wind up in downtown Cincinnati on a Wednesday at a restaurant I've never been to. How does this happen? But y'all know me. That's not my vibe. That's not generally what I do. I would love to be that kind of person. I would love to be bringing y'all that kind of weekly content where I'm just like trawling through the city, eating and drinking fun, yummy stuff like I'm Anthony Bourdain or something. I would love that. I would love to be giving you that on a weekly, no, goddamn, yeah, weekly basis. I don't think I could ever do that daily. That'd be, the diet. It would be crazy. But anyway, how I got here. Y'all know last week it was not good. It was all uphill, no fun, hard shit. I was stressed. I was really bummed out, right? And I was posting through it, doing my thing. And one of my homies, he hits me up and he's like, dude, do you want to go out? Like, you want to go out and like, vent a little bit, whatever. We can go, we can go eat, get some food or something. And he's like on me. And I'm just like tearing up. I'm like, man, hell yeah, man. I would love that, man. And he picks his spot. Him and his significant other works there. And he's like, yeah, the food's amazing. It's got really good atmosphere. I think you'd like it. So, let's pick a date. And we picked Wednesday because that was when he was free and I could be free for that. So I was like, hell yeah, let's fucking go. So that's how I wind up at Mita's on a Wednesday night. And the food, y'all, the food was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm not even capping. I'm not even glazing, over exaggerating. For me, myself, that's probably the best meal I'm gonna have all year. It's definitely the best meal I've had all year, bar none. Probably this year and last year. If I'm being fucking honest, like it was so good, y'all. So, so good that I took notes this time. I had to like run it back because the way tapas works is small plates, right? And I wasn't even sure like how much we were gonna eat. I'm over here thinking like, okay, I gotta be careful. I don't want to overspend. I want to be rude. And I sit down and dude's like, so what are you thinking, right? Like, what's your game plan? And I tell him like, hey, I did come in with some thoughts. And he goes, okay, that's cool, that's cute, but I want us to be eating like 6 things. And I was like, huh? What? Six plates? I mean, and he's like, I mean, if you're down, and also I love this, right? Because they hadn't seen me, gosh, in like over a year, right? And I come in, and I'm actually, I come in, I go straight to the restroom because I had to pee. I come back out and they're there at the entrance. And we're doing hugs and stuff. And they're like, we didn't even recognize you. You look great. Oh, I was like, thank you so much. Also, this is a thing, and this is just you're now in my ego space. I like when people not only notice that I lost a lot of weight, but that I've also put on some muscle. It's nice. It's a nice compliment. Compliment your friends coming out of the gym on their fitness journey. Let them know they look a little shredded. Let them know that. That's a good little, that's a good thank you. Thank you so much. Because I've been working on it. So I really appreciated that off the top. I'm like, you guys are flattering. You guys are so nice. Yeah, I've been working out. Oh, thanks. But, like I said, 6 plates. And I'm like, yes, I'm down to eat. I got no breaks. I am down. I'm ready to get crazy on a Wednesday night. So here's the rundown of the food we ate. And obviously, I'm not going to give the specific names of all the food. I don't have like a menu set up. Like, I mean, I should. That would be smarter. But I'm just going to give a quick rundown of my notes. So the first thing we ate, and I think this is the order we got it all in. I tried to remember as well as I could. We were also drinking a little bit too. Had some 50 West, which I'm now starting to feel like is like the good, such a good mid-tier like IPA. Like, hey, I don't know what to order drink-wise for IPAs. That's like the second time I've gotten a 50 West and been like, this is solid. I'm gonna get it again. Anyway, that's the best part. Anyway, the food. First we had salted shishito peppers. I think that's right, but they're essentially like the long green peppers and with this like heavy salt on them. Oh, they were fried too, I think, or not fried. Sorry. Like grilled or something. They were cooked up. Very yummy. Then we had, actually these came out at the same time, red peppers with goat's milk, and also I believe honey was also drizzled all around it. Oh my gosh, so good. Such a good balance of flavor. Then next there was fried plantain chips with guacamole. And the guacamole was spiced, had like some chili flakes in it too. The plantains are fried really nice, so it was almost like they were like a soft fritter chip. Oh my gosh, so good, so yummy. Then I would say the main one for me, that was like I really wanted to pick, like my pick was the pulpo, which is octopus with sausage, and then also it had fingerling potatoes and this potato foam. Y'all, when I tried this shit, this is where I start moaning. This is where I start going, oh my god, oh my, we're just at the bar. I'm making noises. I'm yapping. I'm hollering. This shit is so good. Like, y'all, I've had octopus before. Usually, like, and granted, I'll say I had octopus. It was like from what's it called? Jungle Gems, right? A little takeaway thing you could just take home and eat. And I've had it before because I was very curious. And it usually has like a default kind of gummy taste. It has this like potential to stick to your mouth. It can be a little not fun to eat. But I got this dish. That flavor was not there. Like it was just the taste of octopus, and it just had this like rustic note to it, where like that gumminess would be, where that stickiness would be. And then the fact that there was sausage in there too, that was like a nice balance. Then there was the, potato, which was just good, but then the potato foam, that was some top chef level shit, yo. Like, so good, so like it was a wow thing for me. I was impressed. Um, the next, which was also one of my picks, was the sliders. It was like beef burger sliders, which is, we're definitely now going into the fusion portion, right? Right. But God help me. Y'all know I haven't had a good burger in like at least a month. I think the last time was at Twin Peaks. That was a good burger. I'll say it was a good burger. This was just, it was nice and simple. A slider with, good thing of cheese on it. Had one of the best thin pickles I've ever had on it. Yummy. Like I know I'm getting very graphic here. This is the TMI already, but I was telling my friend, I'm like, dude, I'm coming my pants right now. This shit is so good. It was so yummy. It was everything I wanted it to be in like 2 bites. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Then we had the cow tongue tacos, lagua. I never pronounced it correctly. Um, and the way I was making a commotion over these tacos, we each had one. The waiter at the bar, they were looking at me like, "Hey, this is your first time having them?" Which I'm sure is something that it's a first for a lot of people. But I'm like, no. I've had lagua tacos before. This is another level. This is hitting in a way that I've never had it hit before. They put like, I think it might have been, I don't know all the fucking ingredients. I'm gonna say jicama. I'm probably wrong there. Some like long, like pinkish, kind of radishy colored strands were in it. It had watermelon cube slices in it, that were just so perfect. Like on paper, I would have not have picked it. Like this is one that like I let my friend kind of do the picking and kind of set up the whole thing. And I was glad that they did because I mean, one, they knew I liked the taco in general. So like something like this, I was just like, oh, I probably would have passed over this thinking I don't really need to have it. But like, oh, just everything about it, all the accoutrement with it, just hit. Chef's kiss, very yummy, surprisingly good. Then closing out on all of like the dinner portion, we had this thing, and once again, I'm paraphrasing what it's called, but essentially it was a Cincinnati chili mole. And like it had this like mole base, had like some chips on top, and then it came with this house made hot sauce. Yo, it was so good. Like it was just so Cincinnati. It had all those notes, but in just a way that you've just never had it before. And I was so impressed. I just I was floored by how good the food was. It was amazing. And I'm not done. I'm not done, y'all, because at the end, we start talking dessert, and usually my vibe is, oh, I've eaten so much. I'm good. I'm fine. But like we were just talking and talking, and we didn't stop talking about the dessert, and like, and I know we talked about it too long, but it was just one of those things where it's like, clearly we're not done eating, and I'm like, well, okay, then I'm not done eating, and I was eyeing this when I looked at the menu before. I'm pretty sure I've said this, but like, I'm not a tres leches guy, which is crazy. I know. I'm the villain in the story because who the fuck doesn't like tres leches? Like, that doesn't make sense. Are you lactose intolerant? No, I can handle milk. So, like, why don't you like it? I don't know. I've had 2 or 3, like, tres leches cakes, and I've just never been like, oh, this is it. This is so yummy. I get it. In fact, I've been like, oh, this is very heavy. So much so that I just don't want to continue eating it. It doesn't seem worth it the taste wise. I'm okay. So I was kind of giving up hope on finding the tres leches cake that was for me. But I think we found it. Now, granted, even my friend said like, hey, this isn't like authentic, true to form tres leches. Like it's cornbread tres leches. So it's different, right? But when I got a fucking heaping helping of that in my mouth, y'all. It tasted like cornbread ice cream. It made me like want to hold my head, like, what? Like, it was so good. It was so good. So there was that, right? That was the thing that I wanted. That was my pick. Hey, guess what though? We're in tapas mode. We're going crazy. 2 more desserts. 2 more. So let me tell you the other 2. There was a cheesecake. I'm on a diet, but my pocket's eating cheesecake. You know the vibe. And y'all know cheesecake's my favorite shit. So I was already happy to see this thing. It was with this, what was it? Raspberry, topping. So thick, so yummy. Now, this isn't a gripe. This is a personal preference that this one just didn't have. This one didn't have like a crust that I like. I love a good, crumbly little, flaky little crust. That's always good for a cheesecake. This was just all out fluffy cheesecake though. So it was fine. Like, it hit all the marks. It was so thick, so savory, like not savory, but just like thick and dense and like just had the good flavor note to it, just a good sweetness. It wasn't really tart or anything off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to describe like a bad cheesecake because just there are certain things about a cheesecake that I go, oh, this isn't the cheesecake that I wanted, right? Like, it's almost like, I mean, it's like anything, right? There's a sweet spot. And this hit that sweet spot despite not having the crust. So, phenomenal. Then, closing us out, our last thing that we had of the dessert trio was an almond espresso bar. And this was the thing I slept on. I was just like, okay, that's fine. That's there. It looks cool. Whatever. But, my friend was describing it so well. He's like, it's just like, it's just got such good notes in it. It's just so yummy. And I take a piece of the slab and I was just like, this is so good. Like, it tasted so coffee-like, which, I mean, hence the espresso, but just everything about it just came together so well. Like, oh my God, it tasted better than it looked, and it didn't look bad. I was just like, wow. So, y'all, that was my hump day Mita's food experience. Shout out to my homies. I try not to name people unless they actually want to be named or whatever. I don't even think they're going to listen to this, so it's whatever. But I truly appreciate this. Like, I cannot tell you how thankful I am that I have people like that in my life, right? Like, that can see me, in a down moment and be like, yo, I miss you, bro. Let's pick up that mood, and not to mention we have all this good food and everything, and then we get to catch up, and he also lets me vent about my stupid bullshit life, my precious little life. Like, that's friend shit. That's homie fucking shit, bro. So I'm kind of getting a little emotional just thinking about it in total, but I'm very thankful. I'm very blessed because there's so many times in life that I get very down. I get very upset. I let the depression get the points in on me. But, like, I'm really happy that I have the network of people that I have in Cincinnati. I'm so blessed. And I have my mom in Missouri and stuff. Like, I'm very thankful for all the people in my life that are around. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's definitely something that I take for granted, and I try not to, but like, there's just so many moments in my life that when I look at it, like, it just like, wow, like I'm so thankful and I'm very blessed. So yeah, I wasn't expecting to get emotional on my startup, but like, goddamn, food vibes, that'll do that. It'll do that shit for you, A little bit of blooper reel though. This has been about a year and a month or so since I've been in the city, right? And I don't know if y'all remember, I got lost in the city last time. I got lost getting back to my parking spot. And that was a whole little experience. I felt like, once again, Anthony Bourdain, just like kind of traveling, like parts unknown, but it's literally my own fucking city. Like, where all these food trucks come from? Oh my God. But I didn't get lost this time per se. I got a little turned around at like Fountain Square, around where the area is. Like where the food spot was. But The real jam up for me was when I was pulling out of my spot. I parked in the parking garage. I know, whatever. I'm not trying to fucking find a spot. Y'all know me. I'm not a city slicker for real. But I have my little ticket that you use to get in and out, and I go up to the thing and I'm trying to scan my way out, and then of course this SUV pulls up behind me, and it takes me, no shit, y'all, about 5 minutes to get out. I'm so embarrassed. Like, I'm trying to scan it upside down, front, back, side to side. I'm spread eagle. Like, it's not working. It's not working. And then finally it beeps. And I'm like, okay, thank God. Then I go to put in my fucking credit card. I'm like, thank God, I can fucking pay with a stupid fucking credit card. Transaction canceled. What do you mean transaction canceled? This is a new fucking credit card. I know I got money, bitch. Don't play me. Finally, last chance before I just pray for the SUV to just fucking end it for me and just crash into me. I use my touch to pay. It works, and we get the fuck out of there. And we're out of fucking downtown Cincinnati, and we're heading home. Yay. But yeah, I felt like a fucking rube at the end of that. But like, these things happen. What can I say? I'm just a goofy, lovable guy. And they didn't honk at me. They were chill. So shout out to that SUV driver. Yeah, so that was my night. That was my night, into my day. I highlight, like crown jewel of a week, of the month. Like, no, July has been saved, y'all. We made it. We went through the trenches in June, top of July, but look at us now. We're eating fucking cheesecake. We're eating cheesecake, tres leches. We're going crazy on it, dude. We're eating Cincinnati mole. Shit's wild. Anyway, let's go ahead and do our startup, and we can get into some news. Oh. Buddy. Okay. We're going to do a quick rundown to start. Just on some Israel-Palestine related news. Israel and the U.S. pulled out of ceasefire talks with Hamas. Are we really surprised about that? No, we're not. Sadly, unfortunately, it seemed like they were just something to do to try to appease the international community, to try to say, hey, we are trying. Or they're not. They're trying to fucking, pursue this fucking genocide, this ethnic cleansing. That's really what they're about. The food, fucking aid, all that shit. We've talked about that extensively. It just feels like a really bad prop so that they can kind of try to save face, a bit of a fig leaf for their atrocities. On some brighter news, I want to put that in fucking square quotes, but France to recognize the state of Palestine, Macron says. So that's supposed to be something that's going to be taking place in September at I think a UN meeting or something like that, something to that effect. I'm obviously paraphrasing a little bit, but that is good news. Granted, I think 140 some odd nations already recognize Palestine as a state. But, it really boils down to the U.S. and Israel staunchly, say no, it is not. And, they just keep doing what they're doing there, sadly. This is very unfortunate. But that being said, I do want to call that good news. While we're still talking light side, well, this isn't light, but while we're talking side news, I should say. Astronomer, which, the data company or whatever, astronomer HR chief Christian Shabbat resigns following Coldplay Kiss Cam incident. So that means both Byron and Cabot have both resigned. They've both left the job due to the whole Coldplay affair incident. So a bit of an update there. Excuse me. So now we can get to the main news I wanted to cover from CNN. Thailand launches airstrikes on Cambodian military targets as deadly border dispute escalates. Thailand launched airstrikes against Cambodian military targets along their long disputed border, escalating tensions between the Southeast Asian neighbors. Thailand also accused Cambodia of launching rockets into civilian areas. Thailand's health ministry said that at least 12 people, including 11 civilians and one soldier, have been killed in clashes with Cambodian troops. The strikes came a day after a Thai soldier lost his leg to a landmine on the border, prompting a downgrade of diplomatic ties by both Bangkok and Phnom Penh as relations collapsed to their lowest level in years. Thailand's Prime Minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra, was suspended this month and could face dismissal after the leak of a phone call she had with Cambodia's powerful former leader, Hun Sen, in which she appeared to criticize her army's actions in the dispute. Now, that's something we've covered before, but I do think that, like, maybe the whole sowing some discourse and chaos into, Thailand's, political atmosphere was maybe something that Hun Sen was trying to do. I think that we did mention it then. Maybe that was a play that plays into this, but I don't know, speculating a bit there. But Thailand and Cambodia have a relationship of both cooperation and rivalry. They share a 500-mile or 800-kilometer land border, largely mapped by France when it ruled Cambodia, that has periodically seen military clashes and been the source of political tensions. Now, when I initially heard the story on the BBC, they said, like, kind of in total, I don't know why I keep saying in total a lot this episode, but whatever. Like, a lot of, like, the crux of the argument, a lot of the dispute is, like, land that is, like, forest land, kind of, it might be sparse, not sure, but, like, there's not much there. It's not like it's, like, a dense, heavy resource-laden area. But at the same time, it's territory, it's land. You guys have had this historical, conflict and then camaraderie over the years, back and forth, ebb and flow, which comes with the territory, pun intended there. But, big development here in terms of, like, actual conflict leading to people dying, unfortunately, very unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, it does loop in, like I said, to the whole prime minister in Thailand, getting suspended, getting replaced, having that whole row, in some ways, shape, or form kind of leads into where we are right now. So wanted to start with that for our official news. Moving on to an Ohio story. ABC News. Officer dies after gunman opens fire in ambush attack in Ohio. An officer has died a day after a gunman opened fire on him and a fellow officer while they were eating lunch in their patrol vehicles, authorities said. Lorain Police Department Officer Philip Wagner, 35, was critically wounded in what police describe as an ambush attack. He died on Thursday in a hospital despite the valiant efforts of fellow officers, first responders, and medical professionals, the Lorain Police Department said. Officer Wagner's life and service to our city will never be forgotten. Acting Lorain Police Chief Michael Failing, that's not a good name to have, like last name to have. Not to be mean on anybody's fucking name, but I feel like if you're a police chief, you don't want to be police chief Failing. I don't think people want to hear that, but hey, it is what it is. What's in a name? Said in a statement, our department mourns the loss of a true hero and stands in unwavering support of Officer Wagner's family, friends, and fellow officers during this heartbreaking time. Wagner joined the Lorain Police Department in February 2022 and had previously served in the U.S. Marine Corps. Two other Lorain Police Department officers were also injured in the shooting, which occurred at the dead end of an undeveloped industrial park in Lorain, located in northeast Ohio. The gunman was killed in an ensuing exchange of gunfire, with the motive for the shooting not yet known, the Elmira Police Department said on Thursday. The shooting unfolded around 1 p.m. on Wednesday after Wagner and fellow Lorain officer Peter Gale, 51, had picked up pizza for lunch and were parked side by side at the dead end, according to Failing. The suspect had parked at the dead end and had an arsenal of weapons with him. Failing said at a press briefing Wednesday. In and around the vehicle were multiple high-powered rifles, handguns, and substantial quantity of loaded magazines. Let's see. A significant quantity of improvised explosive materials was also found in the vehicle and safely detonated away from the scene. He was lying in wait and opened fire with multiple rounds at both of the officers who were sitting in their vehicles. And now that I'm thinking about this out loud, like really running the scene in my head, I do wonder, because like motive is obviously definitely important, but like how is he going about this? Because the way I'm thinking about it, like aren't these officers just saying, hey, let's get some fucking pizza and then like let's just fucking go eat said pizza? Like, is this like, did the guy like follow their whole routines, or at least one or two of the guys' routines enough and know like, hey, I know they come and hang out here and eat and like shoot the shit, so I'll be here waiting. Like, this is gonna be one of my potential hit spots. Like, because to be rolling around with like what Punisher ass fucking gear, pretty much like the whole fucking kit caboodle, like for an impromptu spot, like I feel like there's got to be some level of prep here, right? But obviously this is still a fresh story. A third Lorraine officer who responded to a call for additional officers, 47-year-old Brent Payne, was then shot by the suspect multiple times in his patrol vehicle, Failing said. Additional officers who responded to the scene helped treat their wounded fellow officers and drove them to an area hospital. Gale was shot in the hand and has since been treated and released. Wagner and Payne both suffered multiple gunshot wounds and were airlifted to another hospital for treatment. Payne had surgery Thursday morning and is recovering. Also, Michael Parker was the name of the shooter. Really don't have any details on him other than the fact he was 28 years old. But yeah, I was gonna say, how did he get a high-powered rifle? It's like, we live in America, dog. Like that does not. That's the least surprising thing about this. That and the fact they were eating pizza. I don't know. You expect a donut or something. I always expect donuts. I mean, obviously pizza is a good finger food to eat, so it does make sense that you would eat it, right? That or like some burgers, right? I don't know. Whatever Mo was eating in fucking The Simpsons is eating in The Simpsons. He's still a thing, right? He didn't get apu'd, right? Anyway. Let's see here. Is there really anything else I want to pluck from this story? No, I imagine there's going to be more details to come out, and maybe we will revisit it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, to some extent, this is definitely targeted. But like once again, I just wonder. I'm like, is there some manifesto waiting to be discovered to like really explain what his machinations were, like? Or do we even have like maybe a chance at understanding his itinerary or something? Like what were his movements? These are things I definitely would like to know. Let's go ahead and move on though to our next story. Woman allegedly, and this is, I'm sorry, from Local 12. Also, shout out to the homie Christina for sending me this. Every once in a while you do have some kindred spirits, birds of the feather, who seeing some news and know that you give a fuck about the news, and they share you the news. Like I said, I love that shit. I love talking about the news. It's always dope. So thank you, Christina, for giving me the story. Local 12. Woman allegedly stole $16 million intended for surrogate mothers to fund rap career. A woman faces a lawsuit and a $1 million fine after she allegedly stole $16 million from roughly 800 families who believed they were giving money to surrogate mothers that were carrying their children. A group of 40 families filed a lawsuit against a 44-year-old Dominique Side, owner and founder of Surrogacy Escrow Account Management, or SEAM, in Houston, a business that operated escrow accounts that families deposited money into for surrogate mothers that were carrying their children to use for medical purposes. Many families using Side service didn't realize anything was amiss until they received an email that their accounts had been closed, the money was lost, and the company was under investigation, according to ABC News. The 40 families sued Side for fraud by non-disclosure and other claims, accusing her of stealing $2.2 million from them to bankroll her music career as Dom, a racy rap and R&B singer and music producer. Oh, she really did it all, huh? The escrow funds were used to create Dom's music videos and social media content, the lawsuit read. as reviewed by Law and Crime. The escrow funds to fund Dominique's lavish trips all over the world and to purchase, excuse me, designer clothing and luxury vehicles. Dominique even used the escrow funds to pay for her membership to the Soho House, which is an exclusive club for celebrities in the music industry. Dominique's social media accounts have been cluttered with videos of her showcasing her expensive lifestyle. After Side failed to respond to the lawsuit, a judge ordered her and her co-defendants pay the family's $1 million in default judgment. So yeah, I mean, that's a very sad and unfortunate thing. This is the second time we're covering a story involving surrogates in like a month cycle. So I guess that coincidence, right? I don't think it's connected. But speaking on that, like once again, this to me is such a clear-cut story by comparison, because you see, okay, like you set up this whole fucking thing and the whole point is you're grifting for money, right? Like that is the whole thing. You're like, obviously none of this money is going to any kind of surrogates or whatever. You're getting the bag and you're not actually doing any kind of escrow work. That's crazy. That's fucked up. Also scary to me because sometimes, I think about like, damn, what if I'm in like a bad apartment situation and I have to like go into escrow, Now I'll be thinking about something like this. Though obviously I don't think this happens very often. But that being said, about the other story that I'm only lightly referencing, I'm not really getting into the details, which is not helpful. This is just kind of more me talking, thinking out loud. I still don't know what the motive is for that story. I have heard some speculation that maybe that it was actually the children themselves that were the actual means, the resource that you were getting a profit out of in some way, shape, or form in terms of like trading the kids or selling the kids. But there's no evidence or details of that as of yet. So I didn't want to like really like extrapolate too hard or too far into that. But maybe that's a motive there, but we still don't know. I mean, in some situations, I think they were raising up the kids up to like teens. So, I don't know. Like I said, there, I don't know. I didn't see the money angle. I wasn't really getting it outside of, like I said, even maybe some potential tax break benefits that you really don't break even in on. So I don't know. Very confusing. But, once again, if I do get any more details on that, we will come back to it, of course. But that story reminded me of, this story. So, I figured, hey, we yap a little bit extra there. The rest of the story is obits. So we're closing out with more obituaries. Now I thought, hey, usually, tragedy comes in threes, as they like to say. And this situation, it came in 4 this week. So, a bit unfortunate. Though, I mean, obviously, like I said in the other episode, when it came to Ozzy, some people, like, I'm happy. He was a bad guy, actually. Actually, I don't care if he was a Prince of Darkness. He was actually an asshole. Well, whatever. That's not from neither here nor there for me. I don't give a fuck. I fuck with Ozzy. Anyway, I'm on the crazy train. We're going to do a double sign-off, I guess, in some ways. Or double, what's it called? Last break. There we go. We're double breaking. But you can say we're pouring out one in a way for this next guy. But yeah, the Hulkamania is over. Let's say that. All right. Okay. Ooh-wee. So from USA Today, Hulk Hogan dead at 71. Wrestler's biggest controversies during his storied career. Now, I actually do like that USA Today did the story the way that they did, doing the whole like full encompassing. Obviously they didn't go through his whole career, just kind of hit some of the highlights, the lowlights. But famed wrestler Hulk Hogan, real name Terry Bollea, died Thursday, July 24th, per Florida police in the WWE. Bollea had been struggling with health issues for years at this point, including a lingering back injury he suffered during his wrestling career. A back injury that I believe he tried to blame on The Undertaker, and The Undertaker literally could have lost his job over and was like, no, dude, I pulled it clean, and you're a fucking liar, which is, sadly, a big motif in Hulk Hogan's career. Yeah, and I'm just going to call him Hulk Hogan. He's Hulk Hogan to me. He's not Bollea. But I don't know. I want to say I almost feel bittersweet. I feel torn, but I don't. Like, Hulk Hogan made himself an asshole. Like, not just in the ring when he did the heel turn to the NWO and shit. Like, he was an asshole. Like, he just was. And that's the bummer for me because as a kid, I grew up loving Hulk Hogan. Like, he was a hero. Like, he was the Ken doll of the shit in terms of wrestling. Like, you looked at wrestling, you saw and thought of him, you know, pulling the shirt apart, doing this fucking thing. Hulkamania, brother, you know, like, fucking, yeah, brother, and fucking, I am a real American. I know name's American. Like, that was him. He embodied that. He was a vision. Like, and so he was cool to watch as a kid. But then, like, you just hear all the bullshit. Like, how much he was, like, dragging wrestling back for his own fucking personal benefit. Like, it's just such a fucking shame. It's just so frustrating. And then you get into the fucking, you know, racism bit, you know. The fact that this guy's, like, saying the fucking N-word and shit. Being just the cringiest racist guy sometimes. For no reason other than the fact that he just can. So it's unfortunate. You could say it's a mixed legacy, but no, honestly, it really is fuck Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? I appreciate him for doing the bit. Also, it's worth saying he died of cardiac arrest, I believe. I didn't say that up top, but whatever. I kind of just wanted to get into the guts of it. The man, the myth, the Hulkamania. But you know, I'm sure he will be missed by people. But I mean, I think for me, the last big memory I will remember or you know, seeing from like the Hulkamania saga was like him getting on the fucking campaign trail for Donald Trump, talking about body slamming Kamala Harris, and then like coming to WrestleMania in January, I believe it was WrestleMania, and to a booing crowd to promote his Real American Beer. And I remember that being like the just desserts that we're gonna have to just accept, right? And you know, now he's fucking dead. He's fucking dead at 71. So you know, I don't know, man. R.I.P. You tell me what the P means in this one. All right, but on to a real one. Let's talk about fucking Chuck Mangione. Unfortunately, like I said, we gotta double. If I fucking took one for goddamn Hulk Hogan, I definitely gotta take one for fucking Chuck, bro. So here we go. All right, Chuck Mangione, whose jazz songs found new life on King of the Hill, dead at 84. Ooh. Chuck Mangione, a prolific composer and musician who released 30 albums in his career, died on July 22nd. A statement from his family confirmed he was 84. The family of Chuck Mangione is deeply saddened to share that Chuck peacefully passed away in his sleep at his home in Rochester, New York on July 22nd, 2025. Said the statement shared July 24th with the Rochester, New York Democrat and Chronicle, part of the USA Today network. A celebrated composer and virtuoso flugelhorn and trumpet player, Mangione began taking music lessons at age 8 and played in a jazz combo with his pianist brother Gap during his high school years. I mean, there's more details that we could kind of get through, but, you know, we are going to more or less move to close here. But, obviously, yes, he is known for, King of the Hill. That is where, I remember, recognizing him. But I remember, driving around with my family, Warm 98 radio's playing, and, you got a Chuck Mangione banger going on, you know? And it's, the end of summer night type shit. Real chill vibe. And I'm like, this is fucking cool. Mangione made the trumpet cool. Not to say that he's the only one to do it, but definitely of my listening time and generation, I think people around my age, a little younger, a little older, they know, they at least know Feel So Good, right? So, I mean, there's always that. There's some other bangers as well. Am I gonna say I'm a huge Mangione head? No, but Maui Wowie, I think yeah, that's one. Give It All You Got, they mentioned in this article. Apparently, that was a theme song from the 1980s Winter Olympics in Lake Placid. So yeah, I mean, but man had bangers. Man had bangers. Good vibes. We fuck with him. And yeah, and I don't want to be remiss and say that, like, I mean, it was cool to see him on King of the Hill, iconic fucking show. Also coming back, so that's fucking cool. So yeah, there we go. Like I said, obviously we yada here a lot. I could talk about Hulk Hogan more, honestly, and I would love to. So if you ever want to hit me up in the DMs, or I mean, shit, this weekend, y'all, we gonna be talking about some Hulk Hogan, good, bad, and otherwise. We're gonna talk about some Hulk Hogan, and some Mangione. But yeah, and then also a bit of a update on the Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo from the Cosby Show. Excuse me. I did get some more details. I believe he was caught in a riptide on a family vacation, like swimming out with family, and there just weren't like lifeguards around to like really like do anything. And their excuse was like, hey, we didn't have the government resources. There just wasn't enough lifeguards, and that's on us. We're sorry, like da 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 da. But like it's also riptides. Those are things that can happen. So yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. That's very sad. But a bit of an update there. Figured I'd mention that there at the end. But yeah, that'll be it. I'm sorry. This episode went longer than I expected. I don't get to usually hog out like I did Wednesday. And I once I looked at the time, I was like, oh, oopsie daisy. But hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Oh, and then also too, y'all know I'm way too neurotic about the weight stuff. But we did actually come out pretty clean. So like, and not to mention, like, I thought I was going to feel like shit today. How I ate so much fucking food, but like I actually felt good for like the whole day. So like I learned something. Tapas are peak. I want to get more tapas. I want to do dim sum. I've never done dim sum, so maybe that's something we come back to. Maybe have a dim sum episode. But just thanks so much. Like I really can't stress enough how thankful I am to have people who love me enough to take me out to like really fancy expensive dinners. And then 2, love me enough to listen to my stupid dumb podcast. Both parties, both groups. Let's see. If you'd like to become a newsie, patreon.com/IsaiahNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify. Follow on Apple Podcasts. Do the like, do the comment. Sharing is caring. It's always useful. It's always helpful, but you don't have to. It's no problem if you don't want to. All the stars are thankful. I appreciate it. I did see some more stars. I saw some more star reviews on the Spotify. Thank you. But truly, just, I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening. Like, I just can't stress out enough. That's wild to me every time I get to the end of these episodes, or I'm thinking to myself that it's crazy that it's this whole time it's just not just been me. Wild. Thank you. Validating. I feel so seen. I feel so heard. But yes, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.